Right, where's my drink?
Sponsored.
We're not sponsored yet, but we are looking for a sponsor if anyone wants to do it. I've put it out there. Almost 100 views on the first one, mate. I'll make myself behind.
We're going to the moon.
You could say that, mate. 100 views in a week's pretty good. And we got 2 likes. We also had a complaint about a jump I've been in the background ruining the vibes of it from Steph. So as you can see, we haven't done that today.
Yeah.
But we do have some other things here, which we're going to touch on shortly.
Not really. I was out all of last week with the flu, so I just stayed in bed and put my head under a rock and was dead to the world. So I've got no new news, to be honest.
Look at the bags under his eyes as well.
Yeah. I'm recovering. I'm getting back.
What else we done? We signed up to Affix.
Yeah, signed up to Affix. Excited for that. Started training for that. Figured out the 1 rep maxes, 3 rep maxes, 5 rep maxes. Looking strong. We're looking for suggestions.
Oh, this is what we'll put it out as a poll. Yeah. We need a outfit of a duo of some sort.
Yeah.
So chuck in the comments what you think we should go as.
Bert and Ernie.
We've got Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin.
Chuckle Brothers.
Larry and Paul. That'd be good. Who else is there? Whatever you think, chuck it in the comments, and we'll probably dress up as it for Affix.
Yeah.
Doing deadlifts in a suit or whatever it may be. And stuff on kit to use whilst training, so we're going to kind of run through that now. We've got a few things here. What do you want to run through first, mate?
Start with the straps. Start with your basic lifting straps. Probably one of the most confusing things you'll ever use in a gym when you first come. Okay, people don't understand how it goes. Basic setup for them. They go on your wrist, and you want the strap part to come between.
Go show them up to the camera.
Between your forefinger, hand model, between your forefinger and your thumb, like that.
I'll tell you what, mate. Whilst you're there, you can use this as a demo.
You're going to go up to the bar. You're going to wrap it round the bottom of the bar, twist it around twice, and then once you get a grip over it, twist it to lock it in, okay? And that's just going to take all the tension, or most of the tension, out of your wrist. Okay? Mainly use these for lifts with your back, so pulling motions.
What happens if you don't have thumbs?
If you don't have thumbs?
Yeah. No, that's cool. Cool, so hopefully that helps with that. There is another version of the strap as well, which is the figure of 8 strap. So exactly what it says on the tin. So figure of 8 shaped. How we do it, we put one hand through, the other one goes under the bar, hand through, and the bar will not go anywhere. So these are fairly big sized, but it will sit on the outside of the wrist so that you can pretty much not worry about any grip whatsoever from here, okay? So hand goes through, loop it back through, and then you're all set. Again, with all of these things, we'd recommend not to be using them all the time. Obviously, there will be a point where you want to work on your grip. You'll want to work on your core, your lower back strength when wearing belts and whatnot as well. Cool. Good stuff, mate. Well done. So what we'll do on the next one, we've got different types of belts. So we have 3 different types here. So we have the Velcro belt. I'm going to model it in a minute in this XL belt. So yeah, scoops round, tightens up. So that's your Velcro one. They can be okay, whereas if you look at the flimsiness and the flexibility of this, there's not a lot of kind of support in it. We have this belt here, which slightly padded at the back, although at the front, you've got slightly thinner part of the belt. Okay, so thicker at the back, thinner at the front. Again, are okay, but again, this one's kind of fairly flimsy. What we want to look at is this kind of belt here. So this is 10mm thick. You can get thicker.
How expensive is that?
How expensive is this? I believe this is about 50 quid. These ones you can get from around 10 to 20 pound on Amazon.
Yeah.
This one I've had for nearly 10 years, and it's a little bit worn, but it's supporting my back loads and loads.
Think about how much money you'd spend on a chiropractor if you did do your back in doing a heavy lift.
How much would you spend on a chiropractor?
Well, I don't know. I've never been to one because I use a belt. Simple as that. So
another thing with the belts, just before we go on, some belts have 1 prong, some have 2. What's better?
I like a double prong.
You like a double prong?
I like a double prong.
I like a single prong, only for the fact of, if you do tight enough on your belt, a lot of the time, if you get 1 prong in, it's hard to get the other one in, and vice versa getting out. That's the only reason I prefer the one, just so I don't get stuck in it afterwards and panic and have a panic attack. Anything else you want to talk about on that? We'll go into how to use them in a second.
No, there's loads of different varies of belt. Don't think you have to spend an absolute bucket load on them initially when you want to get a belt, but it's good to have. Really, if you're doing very functional training, lighter weights, you're not going for any heavy lifts, you won't need a belt. But if you have had any back issues in the past, or you've got issues supporting yourself, you're doing heavy lifts like squats and deadlifts, I just get a belt straight away. 20 quid. It's not a big deal.
Right, so with the belts, you'll see, if you go to big commercial gyms as well, you'll see all the bodybuilders in their string vests, probably wearing something like this. A lot of them will wear it for their entire workout, but if they're wearing it for their entire workout, it's not doing anything at all. Basically, you want that belt to be tight enough so that you want to take it off after the set that you've just done. You shouldn't be kind of wearing the belt, in my opinion, for the whole session, because it should feel slightly uncomfortable when it is tight enough. So when we look at that, we want to focus on... Do you want to do the demo?
Yeah.
Making you headless, mate.
That's fine. I'm going to do it as tight as I can. I believe that I'm really, really skinny. Let's strap up like that. Great. I've got the belt on, but you're not done. What the belt does is it's going to stabilise your back, yes, but we still need to brace properly. So before I'm going to do a lift, I'm going to take a nice deep breath in. And then make my stomach nice and big, like this. I come back to pop, okay? So now I'm braced, okay? So not only have I got the additional support of the belt, I've also braced myself by taking a deep breath in, okay? And this weak point around my lower back, because I've got an hourglass figure, okay, before, is now nice. It's now nice and tight.
Before you stop, turn around. What you find as well, within the belt, a lot of people, they have a big gap in here. Okay, so this is actually quite tight, so you shouldn't be able to get your hand in behind here. A lot of the time it means that the belt's not tight enough, okay? So make sure there's not a lot of wiggle room in there and focus on that, okay? Cool. Oh, look, my yogurt fell out.
Now,
cool.
do that again. Go, try. Put your hand down my back again. Stand up. Okay. So you do it now. See, I've got no air inside, but now if I take a load of air in and brace, you're not able to get your hand in there, okay?
That's very tight there.
So, belt is the first step of securing your core and stabilising your back, but bracing yourself is the second step, okay? Those two together, and you'll be absolutely fine on your compound lifts.
There's one more thing on the belt. I would recommend not worrying about if your warm-up sets. Again, you want to be able to grow, strengthen your core, your lower back without using the belt. This will somewhat stop it and slow it down. I would maybe recommend on the top sets that you're doing it for, especially for things like deadlifts, for squats, potentially overhead presser movements, depending on obviously whereabouts that you struggle with your back. But I wouldn't recommend it wearing it for absolutely everything. Cool, that's belts covered. Let's get them out of the way.
I feel like we're telemarketing. We're like telemarketing. There's little...
Right, we should have our own
clipboard
codes.
bottom, yeah.
Gymshark JP10. So we got rid of the straps. We've done them. Cool. We have wrist straps.
Mm-hmm.
So again, two different types of wrist straps that we have. Obviously the longer one, short ones. Okay. With these, the longer ones, in my opinion, are slightly better because you can get them slightly tighter around the wrist. And there is two ways that we can use these. We can have them slightly further down the wrist for certain movements, or we can go slightly higher over the joint on the wrist as well. Where they are shorter, or where these ones are longer, you can wrap it around more times so you can get that tighter on the wrist. Whereas one like this, it will still do the job, but it will not make a massive difference, especially if you're going very heavy with bench and stuff when your wrist will tend to bend. These ones will stop that from happening. Anything you want to add there?
I tend to use those more for if you
Tie
have
around your neck.
if you have an existing injury. I tend to use wrist straps a bit more. Use them great because it's going to take a lot of weight off of that wrist, especially when you're doing compound movements like bench, like you said. But other than that, I'd stick to the usual straps we use for lifting for our much heavier lifts, and then really you can forego them for most of your other exercises you're going to do.
And also, if you are limp-wristed like Oscar, I would suggest using them.
There we go.
That's probably a little bit big for you, mate. That's the extra small.
Look. So finally, we got hook grips, mainly used, okay, if we're doing any sort of bar work, pull-up bar work, not straight bar work, okay. It's just going to be able to improve your grip on there, so when you hook this over the bar, okay, that's going to stick a lot more than it is with your fingers. What this does, it allows you to hook on, stay there a lot longer. Also great for core exercises, if we're doing toe to bar or hanging knee raises, it means you're not relying on your grip strength, you can actually focus on engaging your core a lot more and you can stay on the bar for a lot longer.
What's on my notes? Yeah, I would say if you're going to get one piece of kit to start with, I would say to begin with either the wrist straps or bar or a belt, and then go from there. But you don't need everything to start with. Again, look online, look at the reviews, and just go by what it is that you're going for. If you're going for base strength, deadlift, squats, grab a belt. If you're going for overall I will go for wrist straps to begin with. Anything else on our list to start with? The other thing that we haven't talked about is sleeves. So knee sleeves, elbow sleeves. Again, they are good and they're not so good for relying on all the time. If we're going for a very heavy lift, maybe like a top set, for example, knee sleeves can be good. You've got different variations. You've got the neoprene ones, you've got the material ones. I would recommend neoprene if you're doing it, and slightly thicker, so like a 7mm for the elbow or for the knees. A couple of things that it does: help support around the joint, and it will keep the joint warmer as well because it's slightly tighter, compressing it, send more blood flow to it throughout your warm-ups as well, and then you can go into those heavy lifts. But again, not a necessity unless you have had previous injuries. I used to wear knee sleeves all the time, but now my squats are shit, so don't worry. But yeah, I would recommend belt and straps to begin with. Everything else, kind of bring that in when you kind of hit walls with potentially adding an extra couple of kilos to lifts, or you are suffering certain injuries. Anything else?
With
my harness, my neck harness.
Your neck harness. Well, you could demonstrate that if you want.
I could. I did sound
with knee sleeves and knee straps. So there is similar to the wrist straps. Knee straps that you basically tie around your knee. The issue with those is they don't have a fixed tightness, unlike like a compression sleeve. That'd be the same tightness and it will wear over time, obviously. With knee straps, what you can do is you can tighten them further and further. So for your really heavy lifts, you can go super tight. That causes an issue because it creates kind of a false sense of security. It creates a false knee for you. So when you go back to lifting normally, that knee isn't as strong as it was when you had it really wrapped up really tight. So try and avoid those. Like you said, stick to compression sleeves because they're going to be really good for all your compound lifts. And over the same compression, you can't go any tighter. Okay.
Yeah, with the wraps, just thinking about that, it is essentially making a slingshot out of your joint.
Yeah.
So at the compression, at full flexion of the knee, that strap is almost trying to pin you out of that position. So it's trying to make you stand back up and create, like a slingshot crossbow type pulley motion. So it will help you add more weight to your lifts. But again, your tendons, your joints, your ligaments aren't going to be thanking you for it in the long run as well. Okay, perfect. I think that's everything on straps.
Get your neck thing.
My neck harness.
Should we have a one rep max neck curl off?
How strong's your neck? I'm confident I can get it.
Just the people you have to ask for that.
Cool. Yeah, one other thing. Everyone takes the piss out of this. Don't know why. Nice neck harness. Nice strong neck. Why have strong chest and strong back if you don't have a strong neck? Yeah, it's good for jiu-jitsu, martial arts, Formula 1 driving. Put a weight in here, stick it on your head, and rep it out like you would anything else. I don't know why people take the piss out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. They're cool, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. We'll finish it there. Peace out.